I've been watching a lot of romance movies recently, and it's got me thinking a lot about different things, right? And I want to talk about a certain kind of person that people get into relationships with and end up dating. And I call this person the performer. And when we're in a relationship with somebody or even dating somebody, we want them to answer all of our needs, right? We want them to almost be perfect, right? We want them to do everything right. We want them to really compliment us in every way that they can. And sometimes we want it to happen almost immediately, or in a sense, we want it to happen almost consistently, right? And let me give you a analogy here for a second, or really just an example, not an analogy. Um, let's say you're dating a partner who was married to somebody for about 10 or 15 years, right? And they ended their marriage on good terms or the relationship on good terms, right? They ended on good terms. Everything was good. They're still really good friends, right? But you end up getting with this person who was with this person for 15 years, right? And you see how well they communicate with this old partner and everything else, and it kind of makes you feel insecure. So you tell them something like, hey, I don't want you to talk to that person anymore. And so what they do immediately is they delete them off Instagram. They delete their phone number from their phone. They don't talk to them anymore. And you think, oh, I'm with the perfect partner. They did this, they did that, they did that, they did this. That to me is a red flag. That's what I call a performer. That's somebody who will most likely go behind your back and keep talking to that person, right? And they might even cheat on you with that person too, right? And this is the thing about a performer, right? When you're overcritical on somebody in a relationship and you don't accept their subtle imperfections, right? You don't accept them for who they are, right? Nothing's perfect, right? You look at nature, right? Pick up any random blade of grass and there's an imperfection in it. Yet all those blades of grass with all their imperfections make the field look absolutely beautiful, especially when it sways in the wind. Look at all the trees. None of them grow the same. They all have imperfections, but looking at it all at once, it looks absolutely beautiful, right? But when you critique the trees too much, eventually somebody plants a fake tree that looks perfect, right? And that tree is a performer, right? It's a lie, right? It's not real. It's not going to bear fruit for you. It's not going to do any of these things, right? It's a lie. And it's only there because you were so critical of it that it put something fake there. And this happens in relationships sometimes too. We become so critical of our partners that they end up performing for us, right? And then they eventually meet somebody that they don't have to perform for, right? Somebody who accepts their perfect imperfections and likes them. And they end up getting either breaking up with us for that person, they end up leaving us for that person, or they end up cheating on us with that person, or they begin lying to us, or they begin just simply performing for us and then getting their emotional stability from this other person, right? And so, if you're ever with a partner that you're being a little bit too critical of them, they just overnight start doing all the right things, saying all the right things, doing all the right things. You have to wonder, is that what they really want to do? Is that how they really want to be? I watched a movie last night called Love Hard, right? I've been watching these romance movies. I love watching romance movies by myself. It's amazing. It's so joyful. But anyways, I watched this movie called Love Hard, and it got me thinking. Um, Loving hard is about loving somebody's perfect imperfections, right? In my example I gave, loving hard would be that person doesn't stop talking to that other person. That person is honest with their new partner and tells them, I knew this person for 15 years. Part of me is with this person. You can trust me. I'm not going to do anything. And the other person may still have insecurities, and it may be a conversation that comes back up over time. But loving hard is having those hard conversations. Loving hard is working on your insecurities and taking responsibility for them. Loving hard is really two partners coming together and connecting, right? Now, it doesn't mean it needs to go all the way into DV, right? It doesn't mean it needs to go all the way into overreacting, right? But it does mean that you have to have these hard conversations and you have to allow your partner to conversate with you, right? You have to allow your partner to not have to walk on eggshells, because when they think they're walking on eggshells, they'll start performing for you, right? When they think that you're being overcritical of them, they'll start performing for you, right? And that's when you're dating a performer. And to me, that's the scariest person you could date or be in a relationship with. First of all, they're perfect, right? They seem absolutely perfect, right? Second of all, you know, There's no, if you try to get mad about their perfection, it seems out of place, right? Because they're doing everything you want them to do. And third of all, when you actually find out that they were cheating on you or that they didn't like you, that's going to hurt you so much. It's going to affect you so much that you're not going to want to go out there and get in another relationship. So you have to allow somebody to be perfectly imperfected, right? You have to allow somebody to make mistakes. You can't be overcritical. You have to love hard, have these hard conversations. You have to understand that nothing is perfect overnight. Nothing gets better overnight. Things take time, things take struggle, things go uphill, they go downhill. But that's what loving hard is. That's what loving hard is. That's what it is all about, right? It's about not catfishing your partner, right? And when we say catfishing your partner, we're not talking about the regular catfishing where it's, they're giving you a false picture online. We're talking about catfishing your partner where you're displaying yourself as somebody that you're not. You're not being authentically you, right? You're telling them that you're interested in things that you're not actually interested in. You're doing things that you wouldn't actually do, right? You want to make sure that you're being absolutely authentic in every situation, right? That's how you love hard, right? Because when you're loving somebody, it shouldn't be a struggle. It shouldn't be a performance, right? It shouldn't be something that you're trying to critique in somebody else 24/7, right? That's going to push them to perform for you. And then they're going to meet somebody that they don't have to perform for. They're going to feel so relaxed. They're going to be able to breathe. And, they may be insecure about leaving you, and they may end up making that mistake, cheating. They may end up making that mistake doing things behind your back, texting behind your back, having a second phone, doing all these types of things, right? So make sure you're not a performer, and make sure that you're not pushing your partner to become a performer, right? And if you feel like you're performing for your partner, tell them that, right? Tell them, hey, I feel like I have to perform and I can't really be authentic with you because you're not going to like me. Let them know this, right? If they still don't care, then that's your cue that this may not be something that's going to be good for you, right? Remember, the garden has all imperfections in it. Pick anything out of a garden, right? It's not perfect at all. But a garden all at once looks beautiful because of its perfect imperfections. And that's how a relationship is too. It has perfect imperfections, right? In this dating advice world we live in and whatnot, we get to a point where we just want perfection. We're always trying to critique and want something perfect. And the worst thing that's going to happen is we're going to get with a performer, or we are going to become a performer, right? All right, just wanted to share that with you. And don't wait for Valentine's Day to watch romance movies, right? Just watch them whenever. They're beautiful to watch. I love going out on self dates with myself. I'm all about self love, right? I love going out on self dates and watching romance movies and just like thinking there and contemplating with myself and wondering about it, like. And speaking of self love, right? Be authentic with yourself. The more authentic with yourself that you are, the more you will be authentic with your partner. The more you will not perform, and the more that you will not want to critique them, right? Because you'll be authentic and you'll accept their authenticity too, right? And you'll look at their authenticity and you'll see it as a perfect imperfection, right? All right, just wanted to share that with you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.